Alright, you guys have made it to the final video in lesson 1-2. Congratulations, we're almost through this lesson. If you look at the bottom of page 10 and 11, you're going to see some little blanks and some graphic organizers for you guys to fill in. What I want you guys to do is to go ahead and pause this video, and I want you to brainstorm as many different words that you can think of that you might see in a word problem to tell you to do the operation that's listed. For example, in the plus side, one word that you might think of that tells you to add is anytime you see the word sum. So what I want you guys to do is go through these signs and then go through the chart that's beneath it on page 11. And I want you guys to see how many words you can come up with and then check back in and we'll see how you guys did. Alright, now that you've had a minute to brainstorm, go ahead and compare your list to mine. I'm sure that you have thought up some that I may not have on here, and I'm sure I thought of some that you probably don't have. This is definitely not a comprehensive list, but it is a list that will give you kind of an idea of what to look for when we're working on translating these expressions. So go ahead and take a moment and copy down any of the terms that you did not get onto pages 10 and 11. Pay attention to what words are going to indicate addition, which words are going to indicate subtraction, which are going to indicate multiplication, and which are going to indicate division, and be on the lookout for those types of words when you're solving word problems and when we translate things from words to numbers in just a moment. Also going to go ahead and let you compare to the inequality and equality list. Again, you may have some words that I didn't. Make sure that you have these words. Again, this is not a comprehensive list, but it will give you a good start on what is going to be the keywords that we're going to be looking for. Alright, if you need to pause the video, go back, review those other terms, get a chance to copy those down, and then let's take a look at examples 5, 6, and 7. So what we want to do in these types of problems, we're going to be taking them from words and putting them into numbers. And we really want to break these down piece at a time. So I'm just going to read this across the first time and look at what pops out for us. So the first thing I see, 6 less than the product of a number and 7. So I first off see a 6 right there. So we know we're going to have a 6. We have a less than, which is going to tell us that we're doing some sort of subtraction. We're going to have the product, which is always multiplication. A number. Now we don't really have a number yet, but one thing that we've learned is when we have a number that we don't know, we can use a variable to take its place. Now, so I don't get confused with my multiplication, I'm going to just use an n, but you can use any letter that you want. And then we have 7. Alright, so putting this together, we have 6 less than the product of a number and 7. So, order of operations, we would want to do our multiplication first. So the two things that we're multiplying together is the product of the number and 7. So we are multiplying 7 times n, which we can rewrite as 7n. And then we want 6 less than that. So we have to pay attention, especially with these subtraction problems, that we get things in the right order. We want the 6 to be less than the product of 7n. So we want to be taking that 6 away from the 7n. So to show that we're taking the 6 away from the 7n and not the other way around, we want to put the 7n first, and then we want to subtract 6. And that would be our final answer for example number 5. Going ahead and looking at example 6, we want to use the same method. 5, and that's already given to us as a number, more than a number. So right away I'm thinking this could be an inequality or this could be addition. Some of our terms are very close together, so let's go ahead and read the rest of the problem. We want 5 more than a number is less than 2. So again, I'm seeing something that could be subtraction or it could be an inequality. It sounds like from reading it, 5 more than a number is less than 2, that we are going to be doing addition with the more than. And then because of this little word right here, the is, it says is less than, that's telling us that we're going to be using the inequality symbol of less than rather than subtraction. If it just said less than, then we would be doing subtraction, but that is going to make a big difference in what we need to do. So 5 more than a number, we'll use n again. So 5 plus n, it's going to be less than 2. And we have our answer. All right, one more example together. Twice the difference. So twice, remember, was one of those multiplication words. Specifically, twice means that we are multiplying by 2. So we're multiplying by 2. That's something that for some reason throws students off every year. Anytime you see twice, anytime you see double, it means you're multiplying by specifically 2. So we want twice the difference, which is subtraction, of a number and 3. And it says it totals, so that's going to be equals 12. Now, we need to be paying close attention to what we are actually multiplying here. We know we're multiplying something by 2. Now, is it twice the number, or is it twice the difference? It says twice the difference, so that means we actually have to do the whole subtraction problem. So we're going to set up some parentheses here so that we know that we're multiplying the whole difference by 2 instead of just multiplying the number. So the difference that we are multiplying is the number and 3. So we're going to subtract n and 3. And we know that it's going to total 12. So again, these parentheses help us see that we're multiplying this whole difference, n minus 3, and not just the n. So that would be our final answer here. Now, it's hard to prepare you for every single example of these type of problems you will see just because there's simply so many and every specific problem is different. It's going to take some practice to get used to. If you need some help, if you get stuck on what one particular word means, go ahead and see your teacher and we'll be glad to help you out. But the biggest thing that will help you in this is just to practice. Alright, so that wraps up our last video for 1-2. Go ahead and do the U-Try for this section. Make sure to complete your practice and begin studying for your mastery check. See you in the next lesson.